understanding is that we're still gonna be below communities our size where we're going.
Okay.
The thought process was to double it now, and then maybe take a look at it a couple more years from now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we find, because we do the testing, the samples get sent in, and DNR is aware of the results of those tests. Too many times you violate, then the DNR will step in. This is our way of saying to the DNR really, is that, you know, we're doing what's required, we're making sure we're monitoring it all. I mean, so we're not trying to, the fine isn't there to try to, you know, get a huge windfall of money off of them. The fine is there,
To deter violations.
yeah.
And to deter a discharge violation on our part.
You know, now the DNR, I don't believe, has ever come back and said you must, because I think the fines are strictly on us, anybody, any city.
But the violation would also be on us too, as the city. It wouldn't be on any private industry or
True, I mean, we're able to.
We're the discharger.
Yeah. To this point, we're able to handle that when they do violate.
okay,
We can still handle it out there.
okay.
So we're not to the point that so much is being created on their end that by the time it gets to us, we can't handle it, and then all of a sudden we're in violation.
And that's the key. really.
Yeah, yeah, so we're not to that point.
Okay.
When John and I were on the committee together, the ridiculous low price was kind of, we had nothing before that, and the DNR had noted that. So we put the numbers in originally, and it has been a long time.
Any other questions? Hearing none, I
Motion to adopt first reading of ordinance 956 to amend Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 100, Industrial Sewage User Compliance Enforcement.
Is there a second?
So moved.
Motion made and second to approve the first reading of the ordinance number 19-34 to amend the Lamar's ordinance.
It's 956, Mayor.
Was it?
It's ordinance number 956. He said
Oh.
1934.
Thank you.
Which is a precedent.
1956 to amend the Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 100, Industrial Sewer User Compliance Enforcement. Do we have a roll call on that, Bill?
Wick?
Yes.
Rexington?
Yes.
Knapp?
Yes.
Goodchild?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, moving on to action number 3, Fiscal Management Ordinance. Attached is an ordinance to amend the Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 7, Fiscal Management. The amendment is needed to include the requirements set out in the State File 634, SF 634 General Information. Further notification to the public about property tax changes. Requires new additional public notice, public hearing, and resolution on maximum property tax dollars. Number 3, it requires a 2/3 vote of the council if total dollars of proposed levies are more than 102% of the current year. Recommendation is the administration recommends the council approval. The extra meetings required are reflected in the proposed budget schedule. Bev, you want to share with us why we're having this?
What the legislature did last session and was effective with this first budget was starting. Try to let the public know more what you're doing with your tax dollars.
But it's a state requirement.
Limited.
It's a state requirement.
Required.
Yeah.
Your state
Just
requirement.
taking our ordinances.
Motion to approve the first reading of ordinance 957 to amend the Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 7, Fiscal Management.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and second to approve the first reading of the ordinance number 1957 to amend Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 7, Fiscal Management. We have a roll call on that, Beth?
Knapp?
Yes.
Rexington?
Yes.
Nelson?
Yes.
Goodchild?
Yes.
Wick?
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. Okay, moving.
We might as well get
Motion to waive the second reading of ordinance 957 to amend the Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 7, Fiscal Management.
Do you want to waive the third reading as well?
Can I do them both in one fell swoop?
Yes.
Second and third reading, you amend my motion?
Second to the motion.
Motion made and second to waive the motion to go to the second and third readings. Which one do I read, Mike?
The second one.
Right in the middle, right? Yeah.
Okay. Motion to waive the second and third readings of ordinance number 1957 to amend the Lamar City Ordinances, Chapter 7, Fiscal Management. Do we have a roll call on that, Bill?
Knapp,
Yes.
Rexlinko.
Yes.
Nelson,
Yes.
Goodchild.
Yes.
Wick.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Motion to adopt ordinance number 957 to amend this Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 7, Fiscal Management on its first reading.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion to adopt ordinance number 1957 to amend the Lamar's Code of Ordinances, Chapter 7, Fiscal Management on its first reading. Roll call, please, Bev.
Knapp,
Yes.
Rexlinko.
Yes.
Yes.
Nelson, Goodchild.
Yes.
Wick.
Yes.
Motion carried.
I just want to make a quick comment. I
Yeah.
stepped out of my comfort zone of waiving the second and third reading. This is a state requirement, so there's very little debate. There's very little public input that can change this because it's a state requirement. So anybody that says, just wanted to throw her through this time, no, it's moot point.
I didn't know that.
We thought it was a New Year flirt.
It's the new chair. I mean, I'm all mixed up here, you know.
The second part of that is SF 634, if it was in effect for the last 26 years, would not have changed a single budget that's ever been produced by this city, and would have never changed a mill levy ever in those 26 years. So if you think this is making a change for us, that's the way we've been doing business. There's a lot of cities that are gonna have affected by it, but not us.
Thanks for the information on that. Okay, moving on to discussion. John?
Nothing.
Clark?
Nothing.
Rex?
So I don't know.
Ken?
I'll pass, thank you.
And Steve?
Nothing.
Okay, moving on to the city administrator. Jason?
I'd like to follow suit, but all I have is the last sheet in your packets is our budget schedule, which is changed already, so I don't know if you have a revised number 2.
F2A or?
F2A is.
Is F2A the last one you changed?
No,
There's another one?
no, on the very top, it'll say revised 2.
I didn't give it out.
Oh.
Thinking there might be some more.
Yeah, there might be a 3, 4, 5.
So on February 4th,
So dates didn't change, so
February 4th is-
just going off of what you have in your council packet then, what's proposed, dates are still the same. The only change would be on that first day, January 8th, as far as the committee goes. Community services, that 9 AM becomes YMCA. No, it doesn't. It
No, that's
becomes
what we have
chamber.
here.
It becomes chamber/Main Street. Okay, and then YMCA moves down to January 14th at 10 AM. So Chamber Main Street switches with YMCA. They're both the same committee, just 2 different days.
so February 4th is a regular council meeting.
Yes.
You're gonna be gone, right, sir?
Yeah.
So that I get to sit in this chair, so it's gonna be a short council meeting? So
That never is when you
we
sit
should
there.
be able to get the meeting done by 1 o'clock, which means we'll do 1 to 4 for all the other committees, since we gotta have them here, because we're gonna be out of here by at least 4 at the latest. Okay? On the 4th,
You talking February 4th?
February 4th, right?
No, I'm gonna be here then.
Well, then we might be a little bit later, but we're still gonna be done by 4 o'clock.
Now, if you want me to, I can stay a couple weeks longer. I really don't care.
No, I just think that if we're gonna start at noon and we're gonna have
Yeah.
all the people here afterwards, we gotta make sure the people come in as quickly as possible so we can get them done. I'd like to be done by 3, but I have to be done by 4 on that day.
And I think, I don't know how, we made sure that there were specific departments here last year.
Right.
I think there probably should be a representative from each one here.
Yep.
Even if we don't address specific
Right.
issues with them, at least
Right.
they're here to hear the whole
In
process.
case we need to,
Yeah.
But we can't go for forever on that date, that's all I was trying to say.
So that's all you have on your list, is that? So getting you help has relieved all your. Next thing you're gonna want a vacation.
Poor Jacob, this will probably be the last day you smile.
Anything else, Jason?
No, I don't have anything.
We gotta give Jacob a chance. Do you have anything else you wanna contribute?
Yeah, we gotta start adding,
Okay, this is,
John should make the
this is
last
my last
motion.
chance to propose to adjourn the meeting.
I will second that.
I'm not gonna vote for it, I don't want this to get at the end.
Made and seconded to adjourn the meeting. All those in favor say
Aye.
aye. Opposed, motion carried.